Hello, early birds. I'm here. Oh, look at this curl going on here. Oh, she tried to do something fancy with her hair, and it kind of looks a little silly. Hello, early birds. How are you? Guess what I discovered? I discovered the aliens are men, and you can tell by their weird antenna. Ah! You were wondering. I know. I was wondering too. What are we doing today? Well, trying to fix this light that just really is. Oh, it's working better. I know, Annette. That's Dr. Feravich. I didn't pay a lot of money for it, so whatever. But the other one that came free works just phenomenal. I don't even know if it's made from the same company or not, but it's really made much more solidly than the other ring light. Thank you for joining me as always, early birds. What are we doing today besides yelling into the microphone? It's too early for this. Let's take a look. One of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to remind you that we need to be learning, if you are in the 4th and 5th grade, you need to be learning your states and capitals, right? So there are a few things throughout that you want to catch. We're on day 95. I know I didn't even say it. 5 more days, not 10, 5 more days to day 100. We are so happy. We have been here in the classroom for 100 days. We've been here for longer than 100 days, but we've been online. We've streamed here 100 days. And not only that, but because we have so many classes per day, we have here in the classroom over 500, almost 600 videos for the classroom. So I know there's a lot to look over. And hopefully you've been joining us all along. So you're like, when's the next one coming out? And unlike Smartless, who puts out one once a week, and I have to sit here and wait for them after I just binge them all, I'm like, are you sure that I watched them all? And then I go through all the episodes and I'm like, yep, saw that one. Yep. And I didn't see them. I listened to that one, listened to that one, listened to that one. But no, here at Healthy Mind, Body, Spirit in the classroom, we punch those out. 3 days on, 4 days off. Why? Because you need to be spending time with your family. Okay. What are the things that you need to remember? Well, or memorize. Multiplication tables. If you were going from the 3rd into the 4th grade, you needed to remember your multiplication tables. If you were going into kindergarten, you need to learn your numbers and your shapes and your letters, right? If you were going into the 2nd grade, that's when you really needed to start learning your phonics and your consonant blends. So for every age group, there is something that you need to memorize and learn. 2nd graders, you really need to be on top of your sight words, where kindergarten and 1st graders, you really need to be learning, I should say 1st graders are consonant blends, your blends and your phonics in kindergarten and 1st grade, okay? So there are all kinds of things for you to be memorizing. And right now I want to focus on remembering that those students who are in, I would say absolutely 5th grade. So maybe if you don't know what 6th grade for sure, if you want to learn it a little bit earlier, or if your class is a little bit ahead, you might learn them in 4th grade. And here, what I would like you to learn is, I want you to learn your state capitals. And here, all right, so what is the lesson for today? Because it seems like we left off yesterday with a whole bunch of stuff to learn, and we've been talking about homophones and homographs and homonyms, and what about those? And we did synonyms and antonyms, and all of a sudden she's talking about state capitals. I can never keep up with her. I know. That's why I'm the teacher. You just got to follow behind. And you don't even have to quicken your steps. You just have to quicken your thoughts. That's all. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because today, and I didn't want to forget about it, so I plopped it up there. You saw it first. I thought I better explain it. Why are we looking at the United States here when we're an early bird and we're talking about grammar? Why do you think? Why do you think? Do you have an idea? Do you have an idea about why I would have put that map up there, early birds, with what we're talking about? You have any idea? Yes, you're right. It's because we are talking about abbreviations and what? And the states all have abbreviations, right? So let me pull something up here just to show you what we're doing. Because, it might be a good idea for a teacher to show you what we're doing. So we've got compound words and abbreviations. And remember, those were followed by yesterday's root words, prefixes, and suffixes. So that kind of gives you just a little bit of a reminder of where we are at here. So I heard somebody say that the states have abbreviations and we are doing abbreviations. So that's the reason why we've got the states up here. Now let me pull up. We always have to do this in the classroom. Not just this classroom, but any classroom. Teachers are always pulling things up and always managing their coursework. This we brought up in, oh my gosh, it was so good in the Bookless classroom. I hope you saw that because it really was good. There we go. I've got all kinds of things up here for you. I just realized when I was looking at this that there are all kinds of things there are all kinds of things up here for you. I'm so excited. Oh, I was working late last night, so I brought up all kinds of things for you. Working late. There we go. Okay. So this is what I pulled up yesterday. I wanted to pull up, and this is from Teachers Pay Teachers. This here is from Twinkle. The map is from Twinkle. Twinkle's name is at the bottom here. Teachers pay teachers. Individuals submit teaching material, right? For homeschool, for teachers, for whatever. And so I always go there. I always look for the free stuff because, well, as you know, I have no job. I have to sue for any money in order to keep this house. So I pulled this one up, and this one was free. You can see it's not in alphabetical order, but what order is this in? What order is it in? Can you see? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way through all 50 states. And isn't that awesome? Isn't this awesome? So you're learning a whole bunch of things right from this chart, aren't you? Look at that. So I'm here in Michigan, and Michigan, let's take a look at what the information is. Oops, that's not going to work. I'll do it like that. And Michigan, you can see, gives us all kinds of information. So the thing I'm most interested in for this class is the abbreviation, right? But in the meantime, you can not only get the abbreviations for the states, well, what will you get from this map? You'll be able to get the location, won't you? You'll have to tell me and memorize the location. So of course we all know Michigan is the state with that's shaped like the mitten up there. I can't circle it. I can't. That's unfortunate that I can't circle it. Probably can, but I don't really like the only circle I could get to circle is an O. Well, it looks like I lost that or deleted it or something. I don't know. And it's an O. It's not and so it's hard to circle. Anyway, all right. It looks like I deleted that, and that's unfortunate. That is sort of at least unfortunate. And now I'm going to put it up there because I just can't not. So there's Michigan. Let me change the color of it so you could see it a little bit better. And there is Michigan. Of course there's Michigan. There's our mitten state. So when we're talking about Michigan, what kind of information can we get from this flyer? Well, we can get, and in fact, that's exactly what I'm going to use. I am going to use my O. So we can get the abbreviation, right? And all of our states have 2-letter abbreviations. So you can get the abbreviation. You can get, look at that. I can turn it on its side. You can get, oh, that's not what I want to do. The state from this list, I'm sorry, the capital from this list, right? And then what I think is very interesting, maybe the most interesting thing from this list is, not necessarily the most informative, but the most interesting thing from this list is the date that the state joined the Union of the United States. So January 26th, it's hard to see there. Oh, I'll make it bigger. Why not? Why not make the O gigantic? January 26, 1873. Now that wouldn't be something I would memorize for all 50 states, but I might memorize it for Michigan, 1837, right? But then use the map to identify the location of the state, identify the 2-letter abbreviation for the state, and then write on that map the capital of that state. And all of those things are really great for you to learn right around the 5th grade, to have it known by the 5th grade, right? In the 5th grade. So you might start a little bit early in your classroom and memorize where the state is, what the abbreviation for that state is, and then also what the state capital is. And as we've said here, we also have wonderful information about when that state joined the Union, joined the United States. So I'm going to go through this list just slowly right now so that you can see, find your state, find the 2-letter abbreviation for your state, and then also find your state capital. And then the last thing that you want to be able to do is you want to be able to locate your state on a map. All right, so we actually did accomplish abbreviations, or at least some of our abbreviations that we wanted to get to today. All right, and as long as I have you on board for abbreviations, I'm going to slip in another lesson for abbreviations that I also found on Teachers Pay Teachers that I really, really loved as well. Let me show you. So here you can see we have got, oh, that's not the way I want to do it. Give me a sec. Grandma's Kitchen Measurement Cheat Sheet. Now, I have gone online and at least one of my DIY classroom engagements, I'm going to make that smaller. I do cooking for you, and at least one of my, hold on. Woo! That was a tickle in my throat that wouldn't go away. It just brought tears to my eyes. Okay, so at least one of my classroom engagements and many of my shows, not many, but at least a few of my shows for my Healthy Mind, Body, Spirit, I do cook for you. And so one of the things I have noticed being a cook for a very, very long time, the abbreviations for measurements are still very confusing to me, especially tablespoon. Why is tablespoon like TBSP? So close to teaspoon. Tablespoon always has a B in it. Teaspoon never has a B in it. And it doesn't always, but most of the time. It can be, you can see here, it can be indicated by a capital T only. But for the most part, let me get that up there. And let me get this a little bit bigger. Maybe a lot bigger. I know I have my O there. I'm getting it for the tablespoon there. So sometimes tablespoon can just be indicated by a capital T. And most of the time I've noticed that the tablespoon is the capital T, although I have seen TBSP. I don't know if I've ever seen it small. And teaspoon is always small. So that's probably the biggest indicator. But the other indicator is tablespoon will have a B in it. But you can see how stupidly confusing this is to have 4 different abbreviations for tablespoon. All right, see how the O gets so big, like it's unmanageable. So small t, teaspoon, or TSP, capital T, or TBSP, or something capital T with a B, tablespoon, indicating tablespoon. C indicates cup. OZ is the abbreviation for ounce. PT is the abbreviation for pint. L is the abbreviation for liter. ML, milliliter. LB, pound. KG, kilogram, and G, gram. All right, so those are our measurements, and we're done with them. We did it. That's what you have to learn. That's it. So you want to cook. Probably the most difficult part of cooking really is making sure that you have your measurements down, making sure that you know what you're talking about, making sure that you're not know what you're talking about, but making sure that you're appropriately measuring all the ingredients in your recipe, right? So we jumped way ahead. What we did today was, and we're not wrapping it up yet. What we did today was we jumped right into our topic of conversation, which is actually the last thing we need to talk about today. So we jumped right into abbreviations just to kind of get you a little bit warmed up. Let me bring on right now, give me just a second so that I can bring on our early bird classroom slides. Oh, I did this whole thing and I can't believe I didn't save it as a new document. That's dangerous. I was working late last night. Okay, so all right, sorry about that. What I'm doing is messing this up. All right, there we go. So we talked about homophones, which are words that sound alike but are spelled differently. We were talking about synonyms and antonyms. And this is actually where I would like to continue, is with our synonyms and antonyms. Let me show you. I'm going to continue with our synonyms and antonyms, and I'm going to continue with our homophones as well. Because what I left with was our roots, our prefixes, and our suffixes. Well, then why are you going back to our synonyms and antonyms is what we want to know. I know. Let me pull this up here. Oh, there we go. All right. I had it pulled up here. I just couldn't see it. Let me maybe put it over here. And make it a little bit bigger like that. Okay, all right. So, give me a sec. What we're going to do here, I'm going to run through it and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. All right. So what we're doing is we are, let me get it bigger for you. Where we left it is we talked about root words. Where we left off yesterday is we talked about root words. We talked about prefixes. There's more prefixes and suffixes. And then what, and again, if you're not familiar with this, what we've got here is our basically cheat sheets that I get from Southwestern Southwestern is the encyclopedia. So I've showed you that a number of times, but this is what it does when it takes us through this lesson, is it takes us from the root words, the prefixes, and the suffixes in order for us to better be able to identify synonyms and antonyms when we are doing our quizzes, our exercises, when we're reading, when we're writing. This is what is helping us better identify these words. So remember, all of this is about the ability to communicate better, right? In our writing, in our words, and choosing the perfect word to communicate. Because again, maybe we're not sad, maybe we're melancholy. And those two things are really different. And if I want to communicate something, somebody's like, sure. Oh, you must be depressed. You must be depressed. No, depressed is only one word. And by the way, it is a diagnosis, which most people can't make, right? Which most people can't make. And even those people who professionally can make them don't usually make them very accurately. We know that. And certainly don't have the right treatments for it either. And I can say that because I'm a professional. It's not coffee. I'm going to get that itch out of my throat. Anyway, so let's take a look at then. If we take a look at the prefix, I'm trying to get my eyeballs the way that they're supposed to be instead of looking like they're I don't know if that works, right? That doesn't work because I always have to do this. Okay, stop. Let's get a lesson done. We did. We got a lot of abbreviations done. I'm so happy for you about the states. I am. I'm happy for you about those states and what you have to learn on your 4 days off. For sure. That is plenty to learn. Where the states are. So name the states and they're okay. Early birds. Let's not get off track. So what I'm going to do is literally read this because I'll tell you why I'm going to literally read it. I'm going to literally read it because I want to know. I want to know, so I am going to go about reading this. What should you be doing? Well, following along, but also be trying to think of your own derivatives, a derivation, a word that is using the root word, a derivative of that root word, another version of that word using a root word, a derivative, another version of the word using the root word. So accu, right? Accu as in accurate. How about accurate? That's mine. That's the first one I thought of. So I think it's a really good to figure out your derivatives. What I would do is I would see what comes to mind as soon as we read the root. So in that bold column there, all the way to the left, what word comes to mind when you see that root? Acute does for sure, right? But accurate does for me, even though that's ACCU, accurate is. That came to mind. And accurate would have to be sharp as well. So it seems to me that they would come from the same root. Accurate as well as acute. But these are the things that get you, even as an early bird, to think more critically about things. Is accurate a part of the ACU, not the ACLU, but the ACU root? Because it does mean sharp, doesn't it? Accurate means to be sharp for sure. Acute, acrimony, and acrid are the words there that they gave for examples. So when it interests you, you might decide to stop here someplace and check out your own derivatives and see if they actually work. All right. I see that next word, I would say aesthetic. Aesthetic, because that's the first word I think of. Aesthetic. Feel. It's a feeling that you get when you look at a beautiful picture or a beautiful scene. Aesthetic is the word they came up with. I didn't look at that. And anesthesia. That might be a difficult one to find out your derivative, but if you're interested in it, you may want to go to the dictionary and have the dictionary help you find some new words. This is another way that you can expand your vocabulary. Ag or act. I always think of agriculture. That was the first one that came to me. Action, actuation, I don't know. Actionable. Do or move. Move the culture of the earth. Agriculture. Agility, activate. Can you think of some other words? I think of algebra. The first thing I think of is algebra because that certainly was painful, wasn't it? Analgesic. So that's that comes from an, I don't know, analgesic. I don't know. But I see the word anal there, and that also suggests pain. The ALG is in the middle of that word, notice. Very interesting. Nostalgia. So ALG is in the middle of that word too. I think of algebra, and it does bring about pain. So, okay. AM, love, amore. That's what amorous. amiable. Am means love. Anim, animation, anime, life, mind, soul. Oh, I hate that. Right now I can't stand that. Anime brings to life, gives a soul to a cartoon? I don't think so. Animal, inanimate. What's your derivative? I thought of anime, right? Yeah, animation. Bring to life something that is a cartoon. Animation. See how interesting this can be? I think of annual, of course, or any, which means year. I don't know. Bicentennial. Oh, I see. So any means year, annual, biannual, bicentennial. Very interesting. Anthropo means humanity. Of course, I think of anthropology is the first word that I can think of, and the only one I can think of. Misanthrope. Oh, so misanthrope is a word too. So misanthrope must have something to do with not treating people with humanity. Do you see the value now in understanding the root? The root, misanthrope, has got a prefix on it, mis. So we'll learn and find out what that prefix mis actually means when we look at the meaning of prefixes. Aqua or aqua. Water, as in aqua. The color aqua is the color of water. Aquarium, aqualung. Arca or arche, meaning ancient. So archaeologists, archaic are the words that are coming to my mind. I'm going to look at what they have. They probably have the same kinds of things. Archaic, oh, archaeology. Yeah, same exact things. Yeah, Annette, right. You didn't read that. Whatever. Odd is to hear. Audible, right? Audible. What else? Auditory. Audience. Oh, audience is the listener. How interesting. So when I have the root word odd in the word audience, those are, what's the eance, I wonder? Is that a suffix, eance, on odd? I don't know. I doubt it, right? But audience does have a root word, which is odd, the most basic meaning. Let's take a look at that definition again. The most basic part of a word that contains the primary or first idea or meaning of a word. So this root word that we're looking at here, that we're observing, we're looking for the most primary part of the word. It's not the whole word. It's not the word plus prefixes and suffixes. It is the Latin derivative or the meaning or where the word came from, or we're learning about its etymology, the history of that word. Okay, we're going to come back here and we are going to continue on looking at these common root words here in the classroom. I'm so happy that you are joining me here in the classroom, and I don't know about you, but I like the way these lessons are going. I usually leave the third day, right? Today we're here Friday. Remember, we weren't here on Tuesday. Normally, we are here in the classroom Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.